Hey team, Miles Seegers, how are you folks doing on this beautiful Tuesday evening? I got to be careful with Tuesday because who knows? It could be. Hold on one second, guys. I always like to make sure that I got everything working. Okay, and then I always have those windows open, but I hate when that other window starts playing. So let me just start again, guys. Welcome, team. It's Miles Seegers. Beautiful Tuesday evening here in the outskirts of Philadelphia. And I said, I got to be careful with that Tuesday because for some of you, you know who you are, it might be Wednesday morning for my folks over in Australia. How you guys doing? You pumped up? You feeling good? Let me see who's hanging with us tonight. Let me turn my volume down over here on this other microphone. And wow, even Pascal's here. Pascal, brother, what time is it where you are? 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, it's good to see you here. Listen, you must know something. You definitely, and I know you watch all the recordings, brother, but it's good to see you here because we're going to have some guests tonight. So you picked the right hangout to be here live. Folks, get your creative juices working. You'll have a chance to ask questions of me, of my guests. And we're just going to have some fun. That's how we do it. So it's just good to see all of you. Kevin, and I really need to acknowledge you folks that take the time to come here every single Tuesday night. Guys, you have no idea. I really, really appreciate you folks. I appreciate all of you. And I know some of you that are watching the recording right now. I understand. Don't get on me. Okay. I know you were sleeping or maybe you were at work. But if you're here, those of you that can make it every Tuesday, I really appreciate you. So let me just acknowledge some of you. Kevin, Rupert, there's this lady on here by the name of Sonia. Who is that? I don't know who she is, but she's really good looking. I got to get to know her. Sonia, how do you pronounce that? Seegers? Oh, Sonia Seegers. Wow. Sonia's here. McCoy, Pascal, Christina and Rich, Lauren, Sharon, Mark, Donna, Suda, Dr. Seth, Sharon, did I say Sharon already? Adrian, Rupert, Lauren, Matt. Wow, we got a lot of people here. So listen, guys, I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's get right into the fun. I really, really want you to, guys, yes, we work here. We're building businesses. We're building skyscrapers. But I really want you guys to think of what you're doing as fun. I really hope it's fun for you. Even, guys, listen, even when that landing page crashes, even when that campaign bombs, listen, if you're able to, create your lifestyle, build your business the way you want, not the way somebody else wants, but the way you want. Guys, there's nothing that's more fun than that, seriously. And when you do finally start breaking through and you're seeing the fruits of your labor, man, I'm telling you, folks, there's nothing like it. So, guys, listen, I know we all go through different challenges and stuff, but I want to tell you, you folks are in such an incredible, awesome place with Techademics, what they're doing, what Vic is doing. Some of you guys, you, and it's okay, folks. It's okay. But listen, you have no idea what's coming. And maybe what you're already involved with, you have no idea, guys. Perfect. Let me just respond to somebody real quick. This is live, baby. This is how we do it. Who? With a little smiley face. Okay. I'll tell you something, guys. When I worked in corporate America for maybe 15 years, I was never this happy. I think I was towards the holidays, Christmas, I would get those 2 weeks off. And I was counting every minute. Man, I wanted that 2-week vacation to last so long. I was even kind of depressed on New Year's because I knew on January 2nd, I had to be back at my desk in my cubicle. And it was just, oh man. Enough of that. I want to get my guests out here quickly. I have How many do I have tonight, guys? How many guests do I have tonight? 3? And I want to get them out here soon. And then I have another guest towards the end of the hangout. And we're going to have some fun. So I wanted to go over some ninja tactics for YouTube training. But, guys, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to talk about that tonight. So we'll save it to next week. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm here every week. So we'll save it for next week, and we'll get into that YouTube training. By the way, those of you that are creating those videos, you're popping them up on YouTube, you've created your YouTube channel. I'm really, really proud of you guys. Listen, those seeds that you're planting, see, I got a lot of people, they want to have these beautiful, this beautiful harvest, these fruits, these vegetables, you know, they want to have that harvest, but they're not willing to get out there like a real farmer. You know, getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning, planting those seeds daily. And guys, you're planting those seeds, you're building that YouTube real estate. It's going to serve you guys. Trust me. That's one of the techniques I used 3 years ago. It's going to serve you. And once we start ranking those videos, which we will do together, it's going to be really cool. So anyway, before I bring the guest out, guys, I want to read something to you folks real quick. And let me just go down the chat. It's good to see everybody here. Tom, what's up, brother? Stacy, welcome. Good to see you here. Let's see, who else? Facebook jail, man, that doesn't sound good, Tom. We'll have to talk about that later. Anyway, folks, let me read something to you real quick before I bring out my first 2 guests. And some of you might know where I'm reading from, but anyway, I want to read something to you. Listen to it very, very carefully, guys. The world doesn't need more people playing small. Guys, these are not my words. I'm reading this. Let me start again. The world doesn't need more people playing small. It's time to stop hiding out and start stepping out. It's time to stop needing and start leading. Oh man, that's profound. Anybody out there know where that paragraph is taken from? Anybody out there know? Hey Bethany, what's going on? Anybody out there know where that paragraph is taken from? Oh, I'll tell you. It's going to be one of the books that I'm going to recommend in our monthly book club. As of right now, you guys should be going through Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence. This book is taken from a friend of mine. Okay. Yeah, he's an actual friend of mine. Have been to his masterminds, had a little bit of time to hang out with him. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by one of the coolest guys I know out there, T. Harv Eker. So those are T. Harv's words, guys. So I just want you to I want you to think about that, because listen, all of you have the potential. We talked about this last week, guys. All of you have the potential of being a leader. You're already a leader of self, am I right? If you're part of our team, you're part of the 4% group, you're already a leader of self. But it's also cool to be, quote, a leader of other people. And when I say a leader of other people, these are people that are seeing what you're doing, the example what you're setting, and they're resonating with you. You know what I mean? And they want to be part of that. So anyway, guys, I want you guys to kind of let that kind of gel around in your mind a little bit. And even though this is going to be one of the books probably next month in our book club, you know, you can start reading it now, or maybe some of you have read it already, but very profound words from Harv. Very profound. Anyway, guys, let's get the party started. Mark says he read it twice. Hey, Mark, I knew that. So anyway, hey, guys, so I want to bring out my first 2 guests, and they are actually members of our team, of the Born Rich Abundance team. And I'm so proud of these guys, because I remember when I first met them, and you know, we have some things in common. One of them is in real estate. I'm not sure if they're both in real estate. I'll find out tonight. But they are a husband and wife team. Really, really cool people. Had a chance to meet them for the first time in Arizona, and I'm looking forward to hanging with them again in a couple of weeks. Well, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. in Las Vegas. And you guys are team members of yours, Richard and Christina, and their last name is kind of hard to pronounce. Schlink. I think I got it right, but we're going to bring them out, and I got a couple of questions from them. I want to know. I want to know, how they're building their business. Why did they decide to jump into this crazy business we call online marketing? I want to pick their brain a little bit, and we're going to have some fun. All right. So anyway, let's get them on. Donna says that's a shame, Donna. Listen, you need to, yeah, Donna, if you can figure out what's going on with your computer. Listen, I know they have a mind of their own. You can certainly watch the recording, but Donna, come on, Donna, I like having you here, So let's see if we can get that worked out. Let me go to my other screen, and they're going to be popping on right now. Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Just really excited about tonight.
I'm excited too. I'm excited having you guys here. And listen, folks, I didn't, just like Vic does. We do a lot of things the same. Let me turn down my other mic over here. Nothing here is rehearsed, guys. Seriously, I just wanted to bring them on. I'm very, very proud of them. They had a great week last week. I'm going to let them tell you about it. And I want to talk to them because, I did. Let me be very honest with you, folks. I did talk to Rich a little bit earlier today, not really to talk about the format or anything. I just want to make sure that he had the right link so they could pop on. And he said something to me that really, really kind of struck me. Really kind of resonated with. I know a lot of people might have that. I'm trying to think of the right word. Might have that issue, or not issue, but maybe sometimes self-doubts or whatever about what we're doing here. And again, I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag, but what Rich told me just really, really got me thinking. And I know that what he was referring to, I'm going to let him expand upon it, but what he was referring to had nothing to do with Techademics, had nothing to do with the 4% group, and also had nothing to do with me. Okay, what it had to do with that little voice that we all have. It's called our subconscious, guys, which is really in control. It was kind of making him have some second thoughts about things, but I'll let these guys get into it. So I'm just going to kind of zip it a little bit, guys. And again, I just want you guys to introduce yourselves. Just say where you're from. How what do you do besides this, or maybe you do this full time. And if you are looking to do this full time, and I know you guys are, like why? What's some of the reasons why you really want to build this online marketing business? So I'll let you guys talk, folks. Richard and Christina Schlink. Did I say that right? Schlink?
Yep, you sure did.
I was practicing it all day.
Well, I'll let Christina start first.
Okay. Well, Rich and I have been married it's almost 8 years. This June will be 8 years. We've got a 2-year-old little boy and a baby on the way in April. So we really have got to make this thing happen really, really quick. My background is I went to college for public relations. Out of college, I got into the hospitality industry, working in hotel management. Luckily, the company I was with had an apartment side, so I was able to migrate into the apartment side as an assistant general manager. So I did that for a little bit, and I actually got my real estate license in 2005. Thought I was going to go out and sell $1 million homes, and then the market kind of changed a little bit. But I still had that real estate license, but I wanted something more. So I went into the rental industry, renting out individually owned condominiums, managed about 200 condominiums on a 43-acre property with 1,100 feet of private beach. So I did that for 4.5 years, and in the midst of doing that, I got my community association management license. So I got into the CAM world, and I went to manage high rises. So I was working with owners, you know, it wasn't a rental building, and we were doing different projects in the building. So I did that. I was really liking it. And then the contract changed and I got laid off. And, you know, Rich was actually doing a photography job, and the person that he was taking the pictures from, which is my boss now, said, hey, how's Christina doing? You know, I want to make sure that she gets credit for this photography shoot, because before I was doing the can work, I actually sold photography packages. And so that's how I met him in 2011.
So wait a minute. So I'm going to be jumping in a little bit, Christina.
Okay.
So that's when you and Rich met?
No. Rich and I actually, we met in 06, got married in 09.
Gotcha.
So just for my work history. So I went from hotels, apartments, condominiums, high rises, and now I'm in real estate.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty cool with me. You know, I do like all the back end stuff with the contracts, working with the buyers and sellers, marketing. Basically, I tell Rich I'm a glorified gopher for my boss. You know, he calls me at any time, and I just kind of master his schedule. So that's kind of where we're at right now with me.
Well, here's the thing, Christina. I can resonate with what you're saying. And you guys might want to turn down the mic in the back because we're getting a little bit of feedback. Okay, that's good. I can resonate with what you're saying because I'm sure, you know, I also have a real estate background. And you know, real estate, you can make a ton of money in that industry, but, you know, it has its ups and downs. So I'm going to be drilling down a little bit more, and I want to find out, like, why are you here? Like, are you looking to use this training in this business for real estate, or are you looking to, you know, branch out of real estate and do this, you know, just pretty much do this full time? But before we do that, I want to hear a little about Rich's background.
Okay, well, before I met Christina, I was lost when it comes to the relationship wise, but anyway, we'll get into that in just a little bit. I've been really blessed meeting her. I started off right out of college, and it's kind of strange to talk about that now because this was back in 1998. I know I look really young to you guys, you know, graduating from college in 1998, but anyway, I was able to get a job right out of college. I majored in business management, and I started working for a cell phone company, Bell South Mobility. That's really strange because nowadays, kids don't have that availability. You know, they go to college for 4 years, have a big loan, and they don't have a job at the end. So we were kind of blessed back then. There were more jobs out there. So I just kind of stayed with that company for a long time. I've been doing sales since then, basically. Moved up in the ranks, got into management, started managing the stores. They bought out another cell phone company, became one of the biggest companies out there. At the time, it was Singular Wireless. You know, there were only 2 companies at one time, and all of them started coming on. And I worked for them for a long time, and then just kind of got frustrated with working for somebody else. You know, I wanted to go out on my own, so I ended up getting my life insurance license. And I ended up quitting that job and went into my own life insurance company. And it just didn't work out really quick. And when I joined the chamber member director actually introduced me to a gentleman that owned one of the major, I guess he was an agent for one of the big guys, you know, working there, and he was looking for a life insurance guy. So he asked me to come talk to him. I spoke to him, and he liked me and said, okay, if you can get my goals of life insurance, I'm going to go ahead and pay for your license to become a full-fledged insurance agent with property and casualty. So I ended up doing that for about a year. And that's when I met Christina, because I joined the chamber. And I did all of the chamber events. I went and met her actually at a ribbon cutting. That was her first one that she went to the ribbon cutting ever.
No, Rich, what you're saying is you were scoping her out at a ribbon cutting.
But when I saw her, literally, I remember I tell this story all the time. It's like when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, who is that? And I'm going to marry her one day. And it's so crazy is it became reality. But, you know, long story short, we were friends at the time. And then she was actually had a boyfriend at the time. But I went and met her at her office. She gave me a tour of the apartment plex. And then I started to make sure I kept on talking to her. And it was crazy. She left for that weekend with her boyfriend on a trip. And when they came back, she was engaged.
This is getting more interesting. Continue.
So I was like, okay. In the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, well, that's going to be a little bit tough. She's already engaged. How am I going to marry this girl if she's going to be engaged? And then we just became friends, just really good friends. And I was blessed that all of the stuff with her prior relationship just never worked out. And we started dating. So, and then long story short, we're married now. And it took a long time to find. But anyway, after that, I started working right before we got married. I'd worked 3 years for that insurance company. I built the book of business, and I know we understand residual income. In insurance, they had residual income. So every policy that you wrote, the very next year, you would get paid again. And I built my book of business to where the residuals was a pretty good amount, pretty good salary, basically. So everything I sold at that point was just icing on the cake. And unfortunately, it wasn't my agency. I was working for the gentleman. I got laid off right before we got married.
So we're at the wedding, and you got my family members. You're saying, Christina, why do you want to marry somebody that doesn't have a job? Are you sure you can still get out of it? Or it's okay. So that was kind of like dramatic, I guess.
So what I'm hearing is it was meant to be, and also what I'm hearing is, see, you guys are what I would consider like, white collar, okay, professionals. You have a white collar, in the background and all. But again, I'm going to keep pushing in this direction. So you guys have strong backgrounds, strong credentials. Again, why is it that, so you're looking, I want to know, like, are you looking to move full-time? And what attracted you to online marketing? Because let me just cut right to the chase. That's what I'm trying to get at. What has attracted to you to this internet marketing arena, online marketing?
Well, for me, I've always wanted to own my own business. And right when I was younger, right out of high school, I actually joined a multi-level marketing company, one of the original ones. A lot of people tease it, they sell soap kind of thing. And back then I was thinking their first level was $2,000 something. And I remember thinking to myself, man, if I can make $2,000 a month on a regular basis, just automatically coming in, I'd be banging it. That'd be awesome. So I got the bug then, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Kept on going with my degree and so forth, and kept going. And then recently, just everything that's happened, I've been through a few jobs. So I started working back for AT&T right after we got married. I'd been away from them for almost 4 years, and I ended up driving an hour every day to a job that was in a different city because that was the only thing that was available, just to get my foot back in and get back in everything. And then just from there, worked my way back to be a little bit closer to home as a sales rep. Everything changed. I just didn't want to be in management anymore because of the way the culture changed in the industry in there. And then just got really frustrated with all the jobs. And Christina's friend, the photographer, owned a photography company. I had no experience at all with photography. Say, hey, Rich, why don't you come work for me? They're starting to get busy, and I promise you, you're going to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. So I went ahead and did it. And at that time, our insurance was going to go with Christina's job. And she got laid off after a month of me leaving the AT&T world and working on my own. So it's just been a crazy, crazy ride. And to answer your question, I just recently was put in the hospital. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and well, at least that's what they classified me as, but they never did the test to test me. And this was right when we first got married. That's when I kind of found out. And so this whole time, just running life as a type 2 diabetic, watching my diet, medicine, it just progressively got worse and worse and worse. And all of a sudden, the doctor put me on different medications, and it was actually a medication that's not supposed to be for type 1 diabetics. So it put me into something called DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. And I was actually in the ICU for about 2 days. And that got me a lot of thinking. And I told Christina when I got back, kind of like what your story was, Miles, is before that, I secretly signed this up for another company.
Yeah, us husbands are good at doing that.
Yeah, so it's like I told her when I got home, I told her the whole story, told her the things. Like, listen, I was desperate. You know, I stopped working for the photography thing because of Richie. I wasn't able to go do the photography anymore with him. So I'm in health insurance now,
Yeah.
and I'm looking to completely change out of there. One of the things that people say, you know, like you guys, and you tell me too, is you got to believe in the product. I don't believe in that product. It's just crazy, but it's my only way of selling at the time now. So I'm really happy about what's going on now with the Techademics, because I told her, it's like, what can we do now that's going to help the rest of our lives from this point forward? And you know, she started looking at you through Facebook, and we happened to be on one of your Facebook lives. I think you were walking in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, she called me up, said, Rich, Miles is on Facebook Live, pull him up. Because I'm always at home, I work from home. So I pull you up, and I remember you just walking down the street, talking to people, talking about a paradigm shift. And that you were gonna hold a webinar. And I remember someone honking in the background, and you saying, oh, I'm walking in my neighborhood. That's just somebody thinking, oh, how crazy a man just walking in the middle of the day when people should be at work. I don't know if you remember that one.
Actually, I do.
Yeah, so that's how we got it. And Christina actually signed up for your webinar, and I thought she wasn't going to be interested in it at all. And she actually came home that day you held that webinar, and she's like, what are you doing? We got to be on the webinar in about an hour. It's like, what webinar? It's like the one with Miles. It's like, okay, all right, we'll go ahead and sit on that webinar. And we pulled it up, and that's how we got introduced to this whole Techademics thing. Christina's never been interested in anything that I did business-wise besides the regular standard career jobs. So the entrepreneurial stuff, she just never really supported until now. She actually stayed up. That was like a 4-hour event. And she stayed up the whole time. I mean, we saw the vision immediately, and she saw the vision, which really surprised the heck out of me.
So are you guys, I want to get this picture clear. Are you guys a team? You guys are both working together?
Oh, definitely.
For this 4% and Techademics, everything involved, yes. Yes.
Awesome.
On our regular jobs that we're going to be replacing very soon, no. Separate.
So Rich, why don't you share with me real quickly what you mentioned? You mentioned to me earlier, just in passing. You know, we were talking, like, again, this is a team hangout. Everybody here, you know, that here, they're already in. Okay, they're already part of Techademics for the 4%, unless, you know, a few people snuck in like they do every week. So, you know, all of us here, guys, we're already sold on the vision, or you should be. You know, you're sold on Techademics. You're sold on the 4%. So we're Rich and Christina, and they are. But Rich mentioned something to me earlier, and something happened last week. I'll let him tell you about it. That really, you know, brought this thing more into reality. He mentioned. Tell him what you mentioned to me, Rich. You had some doubts a little bit. So
yeah. Well, this whole time we've been involved with everything, following all the rules. You know, well, not rules, a direction, and set our mind straight, and
attending all the webinars, all the hangouts, and all that.
Right. So we're hanging everything out, and just our mind was set, and it's like we can do this. We really can do this. We're going to be able to do everything to do with this company. We're going to be able to sell, but still in the back of the mind, it was still there saying, "Hey, I don't know if this is real." You know, you've been doing some of this stuff. You're waiting for some of these things to come out, going. You know, funnels. It's not all there yet. But we were still plugging away, talking to our list, talking to our friends, all that stuff, and it didn't become real until we actually sold something. And then at that time, it's like my total attitude completely changed. Now it's like, heck, we just sold the biggest package available in one day. We can do this thing. And it's just so crazy. It's just that I know everybody out there might be thinking the same thing. This small little thing in the back of your mind saying, I don't know if you can do this. And we're trying our best to get everything out of our mind, but it was still there. It was still there. And then now, the actual social proof that we got it done, it's like, well, we can make this happen. I don't know why we were worried about it.
Of course. Yeah. And guys, if you're listening, maybe some of you might kind of had some of those feelings, creeping in and out. Listen, you guys can do this as well. Even if you have not made your first sale. I know most of you have made sales in the 4% group, but if you haven't gotten that first Techademic sale, or you haven't gotten a quote all-in sale, guys, you can do this, and it will happen. Again, and like I was saying, Rich, it's just it's tough, it's just human nature to kind of doubt yourself until it actually happens. And that's why it's so important to work on your mindset. You need to really, really keep that strong. And listen, you've got, you guys got your first all-in sale last week. Congratulations, by the way, again. Here's what I'll tell you. You already know this, but I'm going to tell you. One all-in sale. One, okay? Now, there's no reason why you cannot repeat that 100 times, 1,000 times, or whatever. It depends on how much money you want to make. So that's how this is, guys. And team, you really need to understand, how this business works and what they're saying. You guys can do this, and you will do this. So if you are having any of those doubts, okay, which is really just your subconscious mind playing tricks on you, you need to get rid of that. You need to get rid of that. So guys, I want to ask you another question again. So, okay, I got a pretty good picture of your background, what you guys are doing right now. So if you had the opportunity to, just put everything aside and just do this business full time, I think I know the answer. Is that what you guys would be doing?
Yeah, we will. I know with Christina, with her job on her being a realtor, she's already told her realtor that she wants to be a full-time realtor with him, because we're going to use the information we learned from the college to maximize her efforts with real estate. But most likely what's going to happen is we're just going to use her license to buy our properties that we're going to own.
Yeah.
To invest. In other words, what you're saying is you're going to incorporate some of those M3 strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Awesome. And by the way, congratulations on your first all-in sale. I think you said you got that sale last week, was it?
Yeah, we got it on Wednesday or Thursday of last week.
Okay.
And we've been working with that person for a while. We tried earlier for her to go with at the end of September to get that bonus that they were offering about going over to Jim Piccolo's, but for whatever reason it just wasn't right yet at that time. So I know some people ask, well, how did you do it? And it's like, well, we plugged into the system. She plugged into the system and just was at all of the webinars. And I'm going to give the credit to actually the system that took her over the fence, because I tease people all the time. It's like, I've got a couple people on the fence. If I could, I'd drop kick them over the other side of the fence. But I wasn't able to. And everything with the 4% group, everything that Vic talks about, everything that you guys talk about is what tipped her over the fence to say, well, I really believe in this. I'm going to go ahead and take that step. And she did.
That's great, guys. That's so awesome. And again, I just, I definitely can really resonate with you too, because again, it's a husband and wife couple, and I'm just so happy for you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you. You will be in Vegas, right?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Awesome. And I don't know if you want to, if you guys want to share. I believe you have some other news. You announced me the other day. So congratulations.
Oh, guys, I'm getting so comfortable on video. I used to get so nervous about making a video with anybody. And now, I've been making videos for about a week, really consistently. And so I made a video that we found out we're having a little girl. So we've got a little boy, he's 2, and we'll have our baby girl in April. So I'm just so excited. I always wanted that girl to be able to dress her up in cute clothes, the bows. So that is
that's awesome.
New venture. I told Rich he needs to learn how to do pigtails. I asked him if he knew how to braid. He's like, no, I don't know how to braid. But we're excited.
That's great, guys. And congratulations. Again, this guys, folks, this is really, I'm talking to you team now. you guys know this is what this business is really about. You know, being able to, you know, create your lifestyle, you know, to create a business that you can be proud of, that you can control, and you're not subject to, you know, somebody else's orders. So I'm just really happy for you guys. That first sale now, you know, they say that's the hardest one. I think it is. I think that's the hardest one, and the rest, you know, it's all downhill now. The momentum will start getting stronger and stronger, and I know you guys are going to do really well. So I'm just proud of you guys.
Thanks, Miles. We appreciate you.
Hey, listen, guys, would you mind I'm going to bring on another guest. Would you mind just kind of hanging out, you know,
Sure.
a little bit?
Yeah, I'll go ahead
Okay.
and use our mic.
Cool. Let me see if I can. I probably should have. Give me a second, team. You know how we do it. I probably should have sent him the link a little earlier to keep him on standby, but let me see if I can get this to him right now. You guys hear me typing? Or maybe not. Let's see. Okay, so he's got the link. He should be popping on soon. Guys, oh, good. I just saw a check mark. So he's going to be popping on. Folks, I really want to keep you guys, and I don't want to use the word motivated, because I believe it or not, I really don't believe in motivation. I believe in results. I believe in a strategy. I believe in the game plan. So I wanted to bring somebody on here and share a couple of updates, you know, things happening in Techademics, and how I really want you guys to stay focused and build out your future using this movement called Techademics. Let's see if we oh, there he is.
What's happening, guys?
Mr. Hamburger, how are you?
I'm amazing. Hey, would you wipe off my board? Let me just change seats real quick. Take a photo of that, and then, you know, we got musical chairs around here at the mothership.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, really appreciate you taking the time to come out and kind of hang with my team on a Tuesday evening here.
Hey, my pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
So I want to check, and I told everybody, I said, listen, guys, don't go away. Make sure you stay on, because I'm going to have a guest.
And you got Richard and Christina I saw down below.
Yeah, Rich and
Hey,
Christina.
Michael, how's it going?
Fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good. I threw her in the fire when we were over at the Arizona event. I made her interview you and Peter. I don't know. I know you see a lot of people, but I threw her in. She started interviewing you.
Hopefully we sounded okay on film.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was great. Thank you.
If I knew you were cat people, I wouldn't have done it.
That's just for show.
Oh, there you go. All right, good answer. I only do it for dog people.
Well, we've got a dog too.
All right. Well, guilty by association. And
Cool.
you gotta see the label that comes, I'm the funniest person I know. So there you go.
Hey, Michael, listen,
Yes.
I wanted to have you on the Hangout tonight because, you know, you and I have been talking about some things, and you know, I'm just a very, very exciting time, you know, for everybody here, all the members of Techademics. Everybody here should be a member of Techademics. I think we may even have some free members here, but mostly everybody here is a paid member. And I just wanted you to just come on, pop on, and just share some of the exciting things happening in Techademics. I know there's a lot going on in the background. I know there's some things that maybe you can't mention right now, but you know, if there's some things you could share with our troops, I would really, really appreciate it.
Are they all on here right now?
We don't have the whole team on here. We have a good number of people on. I know some of them will be watching the recording.
people
Some are in
watching.
different countries.
Yeah. I just thought,
Yeah,
I thought we
they're
were
watching.
going to hang out with Richard and Christina, so I'm over there talking
Oh,
smack.
no. The team is watching. So
Yeah, I mean, now you tell me. All right, cool. Well, hey, everybody, it's a pleasure to meet you. And for many of you, I'm sure we haven't met yet. My name is Michael Hamburger. And for many of you, I know we have. And I was on the phone earlier with number 5 here, your leader, Miles. You know, I love using that number instead of his name, seeing that he was the 5th guy in the company to make a $100,000 bonus. And for me, until we start getting our $1 million earners to be number 5. And then what number are you going to be to get the $1 million bonus, Miles?
let me turn my mic on.
There you go.
Seriously, my goal is, you're saying what number? Well, my goal is number one. Even though Vic, Vic is like, very competitive. I've already talked to him about that. My goal is number one.
He doesn't have that big of a jump on you.
I know he doesn't.
Not that big of a jump. Well, listen.
Plus, I'm better looking. I'm just kidding.
You look younger than him.
See?
So hey, listen. I could cut up and have fun because that's one of the things I absolutely love to do. But I really asked Miles if there was a chance for us to sit down together and just rap, obviously, and have some good times together. But I want to share with you my perspective. For those of you who don't know me, I've been in the at-home space since I got my first taste back in 1998. And from there, I went full-time in my second deal back in 2003. And I did it actually on my 28th day. I'd made a deal with myself where I was going to set this audacious goal. And I wanted to make $15,000 in a month. And when I made $15,000 in a month, that would replace my corporate income of $12,000 as far as my salary. And I was going to leave my job. Well, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize how powerful a human I actually was and how powerful the compensation plan in a business just like this was. And so I made $15,000 in my third week, and my third week in the actual business. And I actually decided to leave my job. And I did that, and I've never looked back ever since. And so when Miles and I were speaking today, we were talking really about the power of events. And I made an offer to Miles where I said, look, you've got, you guys and your team, your Born Rich team, you guys have got a huge number of free members that have joined you, and they've yet to really start hearing about the opportunity, what we actually do, how you make money here at Techademics. And so I asked Miles, I said, look, would it be interesting? Would it be beneficial? Would it be effective for your group if we were to do a private business presentation, if you will? So, I want to make an offer to all of you here at the Born Rich group. A couple things. Number one, obviously, I want to create an opportunity where we can help you guys and gals get your people from free members and have them take just that first step to what we're doing at Tech. Just the first step, right? Go from a person who's getting huge value with what we offer here, but how do we get you to become a $100 customer? Sorry, I'm getting texts from Chris and from other members. It's a big sales volume day here right now. But how do we really create an opportunity, an environment so that your people begin to win? And so I said to Miles, look, I'll clear my calendar on Tuesday of this coming week, I should say, a week from today. And I want to just throw this challenge out to all of you here on the Born Rich team. And number one, if you think there's going to be some value in that, where Miles and I can help you make some money. If that's important to you, let Miles know that. I don't know if there's a chat box, Miles, but if we can get some people letting us know that we will actually do basically, if you think of it in the term of the internet marketing product launch space, we're going to do it as a back-end webinar. And so we're going to leave it up to all of you, our affiliates, to build for the next event. Actually, the next two events. The next event, immediate event, will be a private business presentation by number 5 and myself, and we will literally share the vision of Techademics. We're going to talk about the leadership. Obviously, you guys are working with a phenomenal leader, a multiple 6-figure money earner already here at Techademics and well on his way to becoming a 7-figure money earner. Someone who's also a leader in the 4% community. Someone who is it is really the epitome of what it takes to be a person who operates in multiple streams of income. But what if we were able to show you guys how to start putting money in your pocket today? If that's valuable, let Miles know, because we've already set a time and a date, and Miles is already going to start working on getting a place where we can get together just like this, and we can start sharing with people the vision. Now, I can tell you what you've seen so far with Tech. It's just literally the icing on the cake. I literally had to ask my partner, Peter, to erase the board here at my office because there's a lot of top secret information that was literally right behind me. And unfortunately, I wrote in orange and pale ink, so you really couldn't see it on video. Even if you went back to watch the recording, you're not going to be able to see it. But we've got a lot of things up our sleeve. And, for us, we've done this before. If you look at Jim's done over $1 billion in sales. If you look at what I've done, probably about half of that in companies I've been a part of and worked with directly on the corporate side and my own personal sales. You look at Chris has done a ton of sales himself, probably upwards to $500 million. You know, you look at what we've got here, and I can tell you this, what you guys are seeing right now is just a small sliver. But let me just share with this. If I had popped on here 30 minutes ago, Peter Sorensen, your VP of sales, and myself were literally sitting here in the Lion's Den, the fun house at the sales office, and we were talking about how some of the principles in business haven't changed. You know, when I first started in this industry, there was no such thing as the internet. It was, at least not for the public internet. It was only for the military and stuff in education. And so when I started with little 3-line ads, little 3-line newspaper ads. And I could recite it to you right now. Never forgot my phone number. You know, I should let you hear one. The number's still the same. I still actually have that account. So the voicemail is still the same. But, you know, the idea of going back to what I'm sharing, the principles don't change. The medium might change. The product might change. The letters on your shirt, as far as what company you're working with, might change. But the principles stay sound. That's the cool thing about principles. What has made so many people, regardless of the space, the actual, the medium of the space here, has made people so much money are building for events. So we're going to do 2 things. Number 1, like I said, this time, or maybe actually it'll be, this time next week, we'll actually be just wrapping up a private invite only for you affiliates to bring and drive your people to. So Miles will get that information to you. But the second thing that has really made me the lion's share of my money throughout my entire time as a marketer has been getting my team members to get to the live events. Magic happens there. I call it the event ether. And I know a lot of you online are probably pros, probably got some people who've been doing this a lot longer than me. But for those of you who this might be your first rodeo, number 1, you made one heck of a decision to join this community. But number 2, we want to put you in the environment to win. We want to put you in the space where you can't help but have success. You know, if you walk over to my office, I actually have this posted on my door. I want you to actually see what kind of the 2 rules I operate out of when I'm working for you. And it says, remember this, 2 major rules for being in corporate leadership that you can build a company, community, and culture on. Number 1, put people in an environment to win. And number 2, make it harder for people to quit than it is to keep moving forward. We have to all ask ourselves each and every day if we are creating a winning environment for our affiliates, and is it easier in our opportunity to move forward than it is to quit? If we don't have 2 absolute yeses, then our day is not complete. So what I want to do, now that you know what my personal mission is as one of your leadership team members, what my personal mission is, I want to put you in a money-making position. I want to be part of the solution. I know Miles feels the same way as I do, but we want to help you create it so that you're getting your income streams coming in, that you're getting your tech income stream coming in every single month, and that you're building and building and building upon that month after month after month. We want to assist you in getting your impact income stream going. We want to help you, assist you get your master's income stream. See, just right now, what we have today, if you weren't to do anything else, you'd already have multiple streams of income in one single company. Now, we may have some other stuff up our sleeve. You make sure that you're in November in Las Vegas with us in November, so you can see what we've been working on, what we've been cooking up here at the corporate office. So the idea that what I really want to share with you guys as well is you want to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're in Las Vegas, Nevada. Remember a moment ago when I said event ether, and putting people in a position to win before I went off on that tangent? What I've seen happen is I've seen people that have joined my business and they just kind of tiptoed along and they did everything that we told them to do, except they never came to an event. They never actually came to the company sponsored corporate conventions, conferences, whatever you want to call it. And then at the last second, they had that moment where they say, I'm going to go to this one event, and if it doesn't work for me by now, darn it, I quit. And people came to a live event. They started to see, my gosh, Hamburger's bald. That guy's short. She's got bad hair. He's got bad teeth. That person smells funny. And they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. So if Miles can do it, if Hamburger can do it, if anybody else can do it, what happens is people come to these events and they go, I can do it too. So I'm going to ask you to do two things over the next 7 days. Number one, whatever it takes, get your ticket for Las Vegas, no matter what, whatever it takes. Because remember, two things. Number one, you want to make sure you have your ticket so you're activated. And number two, you want to make sure you have your ticket so you're there. Don't just buy the recording. Trust me when I tell you, at bare minimum, get a VIP ticket, $200. I promise you the difference between a $100 ticket and a $200 ticket, it's worth its weight in gold, the difference. Now, if you're using your last $100 to get there, yeah, I get it. Grab your general admission. We're not gonna shun you for it, but I want you to think about this. If anybody has flown Southwest, and I have, I don't like it, I have, our general admission is like Southwest. And if you've ever flown first class on any other airline, except for maybe Emirates or some of those other super fancy airlines, that's going to be VIP. And if you've ever flown charter, private jet, that's super VIP. I've done all three, and I can tell you that flying charter is exponentially better than flying first class. And flying first class is exponentially better than flying general admission. But here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about, not only are you activating yourself to be there, but when Miles and I do the presentation next week, we're going to talk about two things. And we're really going to talk about two main things for people to come in and buy. We're not going to be talking about impact and pushing it really hard. We'll talk about it. We're not going to push it really hard. We're not going to talk about master so much that we push people away. We're going to make it for a real low barrier of entry. Come in for $200. You're going to buy tech, and you're going to buy your ticket for Las Vegas. Are you seeing what I'm saying right now? You want to make sure that between now and next week that you have bought your own ticket to be there, because number one, it's going to activate you. Number two, it's also going to give you your rite of passage, your entry there. But that's really going to be the point. And then what I committed to Miles to do the other day, Miles and I were talking, and we were just talking like leaders do between us. And Miles shared some things that were going on in his business. And I shared some things that I had experienced very similar to that years ago. And so I said to Miles, would it be beneficial if you and I did some coaching together? And it would be beneficial if we did that and we opened it up to everybody on your team? And Miles, your answer was what?
Yes.
Yes. So,
Heck yes.
What we're going to do is, and so I just want you, look, I want to be really transparent with you, with all of you. And so here's the natural progression. What we're going to do next week, we're going to see how many people that are free members that you've brought in, whether they came in from days past or whether you bring them in over the next 7 days. We're going to see how many of those people we can convert to a tech customer and to a November event ticket holder. Those are the two things. Then over the next few weeks after that, we're going to look at, and maybe Miles, if it's okay with you, I come back and I teach the process that I use to make millions in the space. And the process, I didn't go out and say, okay, I'm going to go elephant hunting and I'm only going to let people come in who buy Elite. Now, was my mindset that everybody buys Elite? You can bet your bottom dollar it was. I had an expectation that everybody was going to go what I called full boat, what we call Elite here. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't, if you didn't come in full boat, it's not like I shunned you. I didn't ask for the big sales right out of the gate. I just asked you to make a commitment to me, make a commitment to our business, but most importantly, make a commitment to yourself. So I really want to just share with you, all of you, what my mindset is and why I'm only going to help you go for the tech sale. Why I'm only going to help you next week go for the ticket sale. And see, I know that when people get to our event, there's a natural conversion that happens because of the ether, because people go, oh my gosh, you've got a course catalog. You guys haven't even seen the course catalog. You're going to see that in November. You guys are going to be able to have the opportunity to register for your first tech week, the school week. We've got 5 other dates already set, already signed the contract, check already handed to the resort. Like this is locked in stone. So as I just want to walk you through, next week we're going to ask people to join us as tech customers. We're going to ask people to come to our event. The week after that, I will show you guys, with Miles' permission, I will show you guys a simple 30 to 45 minute phone call that I have with my team members that have come in just at that little teensy-weensy little commitment. And I'm going to show you how to help those people beg you to upsell them. They're going to beg you for how do I become an impact customer? We're going to talk about their goals. Miles, you were taught by one of the masters that I was taught by as well. You know, I'm happy and grateful now that we're going to be talking about that process with people. Bob Proctor shared that with my mentor, who shared that with me. Bob Proctor shared that, Miles, with you. And when you learn how to take someone's personal goals and what their intentions are, what their commitments are, we're going to show these people literally how, when they set their goals in the right place, and when they start looking at a business like what we have here at Techademics, I'm going to show you guys the methodology that I know has worked for most of the major leaders in our space, that have worked for me, and that I'm got absolute belief that's going to work for the Born Rich team as well. Especially when you got a leader who's being personally mentored by the man himself, Bob Proctor. So with your permission, Born Rich, those are the two things I'm going to ask you to do in the next 7 days. Number one, if you don't have your ticket right now, go buy it right now. Don't buy the recording unless you just absolutely positively can't make it no matter what. But I can tell you this. I've been to close to 100 events. I've never, not one time, I'm telling you, not even one time have I missed an event, ever, in any company I was ever a part of. I came close. We were going to South Africa. I can feel it, man. I just got this whole flush of emotion. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I literally have chills going from the top of my bald head all the way down my right leg. So my left leg, for some reason, doesn't have chill bumps. And now it does. I guess it took a minute to catch up. So literally my wife, Leslie's pregnant. She finds out she's pregnant. I'm on the phone with my coach. I had hired a personal coach to work with me, to help me go from multiple 6 figures to 7 figures that year. And so I was investing in my future. I'll never forget, I'm on the phone with my coach, David. My wife walks in and she says, "We're pregnant." And I'm like, huh? What? He's like, "You call me back. Congratulations, call me back." And I hung up, and literally it was a Friday morning. By the time that Friday afternoon hit, I called the company. I said, "I want to cancel my ticket." I had spent $13,000 for that conference ticket. I canceled that. I contacted American Express, canceled our round trip first class tickets to South Africa. And about an hour later, one of the owners of the company called and said, "Dude, you're crazy. Don't have a knee jerk." He used some really harsh language with me and said, "If you quit now, if you don't go to this event now, you're going to fail in your business." And I'm like, I have to do what's right for my wife, my unborn child. We're not going to do the shots. I'm not going to risk her going to Africa. I mean, they got malaria. They got all this crazy stuff there. And the monkey chatter in my brain goes crazy. And about an hour later, his business partner called me and said, "Hey, man, you know, you're one of the leaders in the company. You might want to think about this." And it was a completely different conversation. Monday, I called the office and said, "I want my ticket back." And I tried calling to get my airline back. And they said, "I'm sorry, we have no first class tickets left on that plane." And the change fee was ridiculous. So I said, "Okay, well, just, you know, whatever seat you have, I just want to be there." Because we were literally leaving in a matter of like a week or two. So I didn't preface that it was that close to the event. And I think I had the very last seat on that airplane. And I sat next to somebody in the very back, all the way in the very back. My seat didn't even recline. It was like 2 seats on the sides and 3 in the middle with the rows that came down the center. I mean, it was one of those big wide body planes. Going there wasn't so bad. I was kind of jammed in. You know, I'm not a huge guy, but I'm not a little guy by any stretch of imagination. And I was literally jammed in. And then I had the exact same seat on the way home. And the gentleman who sat next to me, I don't think he'd ever seen running water. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that he probably hadn't taken a shower or a bath with soap in at least 10 or 15 years. It was the best trip of my entire career. One of the best trips of my entire career. And look, I don't want to sound like I'm a diva because I didn't get to fly first class, but that was part of the joy of making money in this industry is living the lifestyle, right? But what I got from that is I got out of the way that no matter what, I wasn't going to make an excuse for myself, no matter what. And my wife didn't get to go to Africa. That's cool. But that trip a trip and turn. It kept that fuel going, because at that event, I met a person that literally it became an on-ramp. And I don't want to go too long here, but I'll tell you this, that you never know what you're going to get from an event. Miles and I were talking earlier about maybe a special contest or a bonus, and I don't let the cat out of the bag, but I know Miles has some really, really cool stuff for you guys. For those of you who are coming to the Las Vegas event, we got some cool things planned. I can tell you this, I can't let you really see that side of the board because I couldn't let Peter erase that, but there's some serious content right there. So,
Show us, Michael.
Miles, I don't know if you're getting any feedback in the chat session, but my question is, who on this hangout, who here is going to do the two things I'm asking? Number one, go get your ticket. Go buy your conference ticket. Let's not wait 7 days. Go buy your conference ticket in the next 24 hours. Go buy your conference ticket the second we get off. But between now and the time that we get together next Tuesday, and Miles and I come out and we share the vision of the company, but more importantly, we also show the opportunity for folks just using the $100 product. We're going to show people how they can make a very significant, even a multiple six-figure income, potentially with just two $100 products. One's a continuity program, $100 a month, and one is a seasonal one that happens 3, 4, 5, 6 times during the year. So that's the first thing. And, and the second is, how many of you will commit to putting some people on that? I mean, the beauty of the system that Miles uses, you can put unlimited people, I believe, in front of this information. So my question for you is, do you got it in you? Can you invite some people to come see what all the excitement's about? We've got over 1,000 people a day that are joining the Techademics community. And we got some really cool plans in the works. You're going to see a lot of this now. But my question for you is, how many of you would like to have a $10,000 a month between now and November, the November event? I promise you this. If you will follow the pathway that we're creating for you right here, you're going to be close, if not right there.
And Michael, I just have to jump in because the team, they can do it, Michael. Team, you guys can do it. You definitely can do it. Michael mentioned, 10,000 or close to it. Guys, every single one of you can do it. You can. Let
me share this here. Can I share an exercise that worked for me, Miles?
Of course.
How are we on time? I don't want to monopolize.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So many of you don't really know my story yet, because I've been so busy behind the scenes working that I really haven't given the community the opportunity to meet me. And am I anything special? No, I'm a redneck kid from Georgia, right? Really successful in my pre-networking career. My very first gig, co-founder of Techademics, was the founder of it, Jim Piccolo. Had no idea who he was then. Didn't care. I was making 100,000 plus at MCI WorldCom. You guys remember that old company, maybe? And but with that, when I got reintroduced to the industry, I made a commitment to myself that I would do whatever it took, and that I was really going to do it. Like this time, it was for real. And so I said to my mentor, I said, look, if you tell me I've got to chew gum, pat my head, rub my belly, and jump up and down while I bark as a dog, and that gets me to 6 figures, I'll do it. As long as it doesn't violate my morals, my ethics, or my spiritual and religious beliefs. And I ended up making 19,000 that first month, but all I did is I got really, really good at inviting a few people a day to an opportunity. That's all I did. I didn't worry about any of the selling. I didn't worry about any of the telling. I didn't do the presentation. All I focused on was the bare basic mechanics of what they share. They said, hey, go run some ads. If you guys have the 3-0 club, you already know how to get the less than penny views. They said, go run some ads. So I did. And I remember when I got my first lead, we jumped up and down. It was like a victory. And then I remember when I got my first sale, and my wife, Leslie, she's my fiance at the time, we literally got on the countertop of our little 2-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, and we danced in the middle of the island on the countertop. And so that's kind of like been a significant thing for us throughout our career. Every time something big happens, we get on the kitchen counter and we dance. We dance like it's nobody's business. No, we don't do any salsa dancing like Miles and Sonia, but I mean, that's just our thing. So what I want to share with you is this. How many of you can make a commitment, not to me, not to Miles, But how many of you can make a commitment to yourself that you're going to invite just a handful of people a day to get to this presentation that we're going to do on Tuesday? And how many of you will make a reminder call or email or text or whatever medium it is on Tuesday and say, hey, just want to let you know, whether it's an autoresponder or whether it's a quick text message, but how many will just make a quick reminder that, hey, on Tuesday, you're going to join Michael Hamburger, Miles Seeger, and the entire community here to find out what we're doing. I tell you this, if you can get really good with yourself and make those commitments where all you do is invite just a handful of people between now and Tuesday, and let us do all the heavy lifting for you. That's the hardest thing you got to do. But I want you to sit down between now and the time you go to bed tonight. And I want you to do two things. Number one is I want you to write down what are your financial goals. And I want you to write them down at least two different ways. Number one is how much do you want to make between now and the November event? Is it $1,000? Is it just $40 so you make your first tech sale and you know that, man, this stuff really works? Or are you a big audacious thinker that says, I want to make $10,000 between now and that event? I want to make $20,000 between now and that event. You know, I told Miles earlier that I'm willing to put myself and our team here to work for you. And so I'll share what that looks like next week. Maybe we get together or in 2 weeks, because next week we're going to do that call together. Maybe in 2 weeks, Miles will invite me back. But I'm going to share how I'm willing to put some skin in the game to help you build. Miles gave me permission to do that. Peter's on board. Chris is on board. Jim's on board. I'm looking for just a handful of people right now. And you know what? I'm not going to wait till next week, because I get so freaking excited about this. I'm so fired up. Miles will tell you, I got so fired up, man. I was like, please let him get to that. Please let him be number 5. Please be the guy who gets
I
initial
remember.
group. I called him up. I'm like, you were so close, man. You're so close.
Oh, I took care of that, Mike. I didn't sleep for like, I don't
Done
know.
deal, man.
Sleep wasn't even,
Not even an option. You know, who needs sleep when you can make a $100,000 matching million bonus check? But here's what I told Miles. I said, look, I want to know who can I pour myself into in the next few weeks to help you become number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 54, whatever the number is. I'm looking for some projects right now to pour myself and my energy, my experience into. And I know Peter feels the exact same way. Peter and I went and had lunch with Chris and Jim today. We were talking about this idea of pouring ourselves into some other people. Man, I would love nothing more than to watch you walk across our stage and get a big old hug and a shake from Jim Piccolo and from Chris Record, and then have you look in the audience and look at Peter and be like, dude, we did it. Or be the guy that looks at me and says, man, we did it. So I want to know who's that going to be, right? Who am I going to pour my energy into? Who's Peter going to pour that energy into? Here's how you get my attention. Get your ticket to Las Vegas. Write down how much money you're looking to make in the next, we're 4 weeks away. How much money you want to make in the balance, the remainder of 2016. And I want you to set the date of when you're going to hit that $100,000 matching million bonus check. And I want you to set the date of when you're going to achieve the $1 million matching million bonus check. You do those things, and you show me that you're someone who's not here just part-time. I don't care if you're working other stuff. You got a job or you got other business, but you're going to put your attention in academics. And I am talking about full-time. I'm talking about all the time. You know, there's some people that are in the business sometimes. You got some people that are in the business part-time. You got people that claim they're in the business full-time. They're really not in it full-time. Then you got people that live it, that breathe it. They're doing it full-time. I'm looking for the next person, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it takes, that we're going to make the next example out of. We're going to be able to, best 5 emails I've sent in the last year, Miles is the recipient of one of them. And it was like, hey, check your bank account, because we just deposited $100,000. We just did a $100,000 wire. I want to get used to doing. I want to make that such a thing that I just get. It's like, oh, whatever. I'm sending John a text. John, hey, you got $100,000 in your bank account. Ooh, big deal. But I really want to call somebody and say, hey, check your bank account, because we just put $1 million in your check. So hey, look, I'm all about realistic expectations. We throw them out the window, but having a real, true plan of attack. So set your goals. decide that you're going to get to Las Vegas, do whatever it takes, and start booking that. Just remember that small mechanics part is just putting people in front of that opportunity. Let Miles and myself do all the heavy lifting. So Miles, I don't know if you have any questions down there. Man, I just keep going and going and going. I want to go ahead and yield the floor back to you, and thanks for letting me hang out.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Let me make sure my microphone is not muted no more. Okay, cool. We have actually some comments, Michael, that I want to share with you, and I'm just so proud of this team and this whole community. There's people coming from Switzerland, Australia. They have their tickets. Here's the thing, Michael. It seems like the people that we have here right now, almost I can see them in the chat. All of them are coming to Vegas. We want to make sure that we get the rest of the team on board too. But what you're offering to do for us next week and in the coming weeks, Michael, I just really, really appreciate it. Team, I mean, what Mr. Michael Hamburger is extremely busy. Okay, so for him to even pop on here tonight, and then willing to get together with us again for all of us for next week, you really, really need to thank this guy, team. So, let me see some comments in the chat, guys. And they're all saying thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mike. And I got one team member I just got to mention here, Michael. Actually, there's a few. I don't want to single anybody out, but this guy Pascal, he's coming all the way from. He works full time. He's dedicated to this business. He's coming all the way from Switzerland.
Yeah, Pascal. I know Pascal. He's a rock star.
You know Pascal?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pascal Kressig, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm probably butchering his last name, but you give a Georgia boy a bunch of foreign names, and I butcher everything. You should hear me in Hawaii. I really butcher that.
Yeah, so it's just team. There's just some incredible things happening, and I'm telling you guys, this for me, like, the timing is perfect because this is like the best time of the year. Think about this, guys. What a way to end your 2016. And I don't know if you guys are like me, if you're really into Christmas, but I've loved Christmas since I can remember, since I was 3 years old. And it's just a great time of the year. And I don't want to talk monetarily all the time, but being able to treat your loved ones and your family and yourself, okay, just a wonderful time, and close out your 2016. You can do it, guys. And I don't want to sound like I'm preaching to you, but you can do it with what we have here. You guys already know. There's nothing out there like Techademics, and the support that we have. I got the senior VP sales director, guru / Mr. Michael Hamburger. He's willing to take the time to come on our hangouts. Same with Peter, and guys, everything's here for you. All you guys need to do is commit, take action, and number one, take the right actions and get your butt to Vegas, guys. You need to be there. I don't want to beat a dead horse. And here's the thing, Michael. They know why they need to be there because we talk about it every week. So, if you guys haven't gotten your ticket, get your ticket. The rest, you'll figure out the rest. Trust me, there's a guy on our team. He got his ticket a few days ago. He sent me an email. He's like, Miles, got my ticket. He goes, I'm not sure how I'm getting there yet, but I got my ticket. Miles, I'll be there. So, team, we can create some incredible things and close out a beautiful 2016. So, Michael, I want to thank you for coming out, brother. Really appreciate it, sir.
My absolute pleasure. Let me share. Let me invest 5 more minutes if you're okay, because
of course we appreciate your time.
All right. So I'm going to go back to October of 2003. I was at an event. It was my second event ever with the company. I just made the leadership team of that company. You'd be making $25,000 a month consistently. You had to be in the company 6 months. It was literally my 6th month in the business. And I go, and the coolest part wasn't walking across stage and becoming a member of the leadership team. The coolest part happened after I checked out of the resort. Never forget, we were in Cancun, Mexico, and there was, I don't think, maybe 1,000 or so, maybe 2,000 people that had spent $8,000 just on the ticket to be there. So it wasn't an inexpensive event. But what I got after I even checked out of the hotel impacted me all the way to today. So from 2003 to 2016, October. So literally the same month, right? To go back and look at the dates later. My beautiful wife, we'd already gotten married, and we actually got married on an island in Fiji. Prior to one of our events, we had said, hey, we're going to Fiji. Why don't we get married while we're down there and forget the Florida wedding? Let's get married in Fiji. So that's what we did. Anyway, so fast forward, it's October of 2003. We've been to this 3-day event. We've heard from all these great speakers, life-changing. I check out. We're waiting from just the time you check out to later in the afternoon. We're actually going to go jump in the limo and head to the airport in Cancun. We go on the back patio to go have lunch at this place. It's called the Barracuda Bar. Never forget, man. And across the room was a couple that we had met briefly in Fiji. And we met them because they were on the leadership, and they were the #1 money earners in the company. And I said, let's go have lunch with them. We walked over and said, do you mind if we sit down and have lunch with you? And they were gracious, and they did. And they had our teams were not even close, right? They're in a whole nother group. I'd started with one founder. They started with the other founder. And I can tell you, when people say it's the meeting after the meeting or the event after the event that you learn stuff, in that lunch, because it was everybody had gone, they asked me about my business, how I operated it. And I asked them some questions, and they finally said, can we share some stuff with you from what you're sharing? And if you will listen to us, I bet your income goes up. And I'm like, yeah, tell me. And they literally spent like this 15, 30 minutes, whatever it was, time just went by. Next thing they were like, oh, we got to leave. We could have been there for hours for all I know. But that information, I went home, and when I went and applied it, my income grew by $20,000 more the next month. And it continued to go up and to go up and to go up. It's all because of that one event. So am I a big believer in events? Absolutely. I think you're going to see that we're going to build Techademics on events, whether it's the Tech Week, whether it's our masterminds we get together like we have in the conference coming up, or whether it's these other events that you're going to hear about. But I can tell you this, you got to build for events. And what Miles has been so gracious to do is to create an event for you. And we'll come back and we'll hang out and spend some time together, but take the offer of what you got. We got the proverbial baton ready to hand it to you and say, look, hey man, just jump in with us. We're gonna help you convert free members to tech sales. We're gonna help convert free members to tech sales and conference attendees. We're gonna let the rest of the system do the work for you. All right. So hey, thanks for letting me hang out, man. I can keep going and going and going. But you start talking about events, man, and it lights me up, because events have made me a fortune in this space. But it's also, if you look at the duplication. And I think one of the reasons why I was earmarked for this position here, the honor to be your chief sales officer, is because I've had the greatest duplication in almost every company I've ever been in. And that's because I put such an emphasis on events. And I know Miles' passion, his heart really sings when we start talking about what his team is going to do and the results that you guys and gals have. And I know he believes in you. I know he's got that potential, that belief in your potential. But I want you to make one gamble. I want you to make one bet, the most important bet you make in your entire life. I want you to bet on you. So you can compress time. You might be brand new. You might be going, okay, it sounds good. That bald-headed freak and the salsa dancer, those two guys, of course they're getting results. Of course, Hamburger's been doing this for almost 20 years. Of course he gets results. Miles, how long have you been doing this?
About 3 years and 10 months. I got an anniversary coming up soon.
And how long did it take you to make $200,000 plus at Techademics?
About 54 or 5 days.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, please?
About 50. I have to be realistic. About 54, 55 days. We say 60 days, but as my team, they already know this. My wife and I, we were on travel for like 2 weeks during that time period. So I do need to subtract some days. So about 52, 53 days.
So about 60 when you wrote the check, and about 55 after you engaged. Because you came to the event just to check it out. And I don't think we were even there an hour, and I saw you at the back of the room buying. I'm like, yep.
Michael, we were talking about events now. Okay, I already shared this story with the team, but I'm just going to remind them. I'm going to remind them that FAM pre-launch that happened in May For some strange reason, we weren't going to go. And my wife and I, we were going salsa dancing. And we decided on the way in the car, my beautiful wife got tickets at the last minute. And we went that same weekend, Arizona, Scottsdale, was it May 28th or 29th? I say to my wife every day, if I had to miss that event, I would be just, I don't want to get too dramatic, but that event that I wasn't going to go, okay, that event that I was not going to go to in my entire career was the most impactful and important event in my entire life that I've ever been to. And we weren't going to go. So there you go. That's my take on the power of events.
It would have been the most expensive salsa dancing you ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be the $200,000 mistake just for where you are now, but really the $2 or $3 million mistake. You know, It's about being in the right place at the right time with the right people, the right opportunity. For those of you who've been around me, you know that I talk about the one what if. The one time if Peter's out there, he maybe he's hearing me say this. He's heard me say this. I can't tell you how many times. But there was a certain day that a guy called me and said, hey, I got something I want you to look at. And I was like, Miles, I'm good. I didn't have my wife on that call. She had no idea what was happening. And I just kept on trucking along. That guy went on to make $2 million from that one phone call. Well, many phone calls just like that. And I didn't. It's that, here comes Peter, heard me, here he comes, man. But it's that thing. So look, the power of, Miles, you could have went salsa dancing when it cost you a couple $100,000 to date, not even counting the millions you're going to make here. Guys, when I tell you events, if I could tell you to do anything, those next thing is, number one, get your ticket. You can make money or you can make excuses. You can't do both. Miles almost made a critical error. Fortunately for him, he's got a really smart wife.
Yeah, Michael, we can talk about money, the 200,000 plus, and the millions we will make, but even as a marketer, it's like the story, which is really the most important to me. The story, and to have that type of social proof that I can share with my team, I can share with other people. There's nothing like it. And the thing, there was that little voice, and the people right now, those of you guys are maybe watching a recording right now, and you don't have your ticket, and you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to make it. Okay, there's still a little voice inside of you that's saying, well, you really need to go, man. If you don't go, what you're going to end up missing. That little voice, and women are really good at that. It's called intuition. That little voice telling you need to be there, you need to listen to it. Listen to that voice. Me and my wife joke about it all the time. Every time I listen to my tuition and listen to her, things come out great. When I don't listen to that little voice, I'm regretting it. And we're all the same, guys. I'm right.
You guys know who, I'm trying to think what Ronald's last name is. Ronald, he's the guy that was a partner with Steve and Steve. There's three guys that started Apple Computer. One named Steve Wozniak and one the incomparable Steve Jobs. But there's a third guy. You guys know about the third guy? Let me Google this real quick. Apple.
We got some Apple heads on here.
Yeah,
they might know.
Ronald Wayne. Ronald's the guy that wasn't going to see it through, right? Ronald's the guy that he sold his shares of Apple for $800. He had a 10% stake. He was the third co-founder. And he sold his shares for $800. And he'd be one of the wealthiest men on the planet today if he'd kept it. He said, look, it's too uncomfortable. Look, is it going to be comfortable to be in Las Vegas the week of Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S.? Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Is it going to be comfortable? No. Is it going to be easy? No. But we're not going to promise you easy. We're not going to promise you comfortable. We're going to promise you this is going to be worth it to you. And so, look, I can tell you this. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Is it going to be easy to get people on a presentation next Tuesday? Well, it might be a little uncomfortable. Might not be comfortable. You've never done this before. It might not be comfortable. Yeah, is there people going to tell you no? Yeah, people are going to tell you no. But in a year from now, when you look back, you're going to go, it was worth it. It was worth the rejection. 74 people told me yes my first year in business. 74 people joined my team. That made me $300,000. It took me 12 months to do it. Miles did that and did 2/3 of that in his first 55 days here. And tell you what, we got a heck of an offer. We got a great product, great products, I should say. We got a really rock solid company. We got great leadership, the vision that Chris Record brings to the table, the execution that Jim Piccolo brings to the table, and our great leaders like Miles and the Born Rich team. You guys, it will be worth it. So Miles already told you he believes in you. I believe in you. And we want to see you get everything you came here for. So, Miles, man, you got to cut me off. I'll just keep going and going and going and going.
We're going to save some for next week, Michael. So listen, brother, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Michael, so much for coming out. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's my honor to be here with you guys. And like I said, I want to find out who's next person that Peter is going to pour his. You guys have a gem in Peter Sorensen. He walked out of my office so I can talk about him behind his back. You guys have a guy who has spent the majority of his adult life selling big ticket products. He's really, really good. He's one of the most gifted people I've ever had the privilege of working with. He's the only person that we really inherited over here on the corporate side from Chris's legacy team. I came from Jim's legacy team. And I can
Michael.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3, I'm not going to name the company, but I remember sitting in the audience at some company that I was in, and Peter was in, and watching Peter on stage. I remember that. Now, having a chance to work with him now, it's just incredible. I remember watching Peter. Me and my wife were sitting in our seats, and we're watching Peter Sorensen.
Well, I can tell you, Peter's the guy that I inherited Peter, right? So here I am. I'm always wondering, did I get set up to fail? I got Chris's boy, who now works with me, right? I'm all of a sudden I'm his boss, even though don't look at it that way, right? I can tell you what, I wouldn't trade Peter for anything. You guys get his phone number. Miles, you can give out my 9890 number. You can give Peter's number out. We're here to help you close. I wouldn't trade Peter Sorensen for the world. Guys, take advantage of us in a good way. Take advantage. Let us, bring 3-way calls to us. If you got somebody who's on the hook, Miles will tell you. He Skypes me. He calls me. Many of you on the phone line, you've probably already met me through a Skype because Miles brought you to me. Not that I got some gift to gab, but there's part of the system is you show people. Pardon me. You show people that you don't have to have all the answers to make money. Miles had brought him all the way through the process and said, look, let me show you how this works. And they just brought me on to answer some questions. But the psychology behind that is Miles is showing them, look, you're not alone. You got support. And you don't have to have all the answers to make money. So you guys leverage us. Hey, my phone number, I'll give it to you right now. 480-515-9890. 480-515-9890. I actually have to look at my card to see what my office line is. 602-753-3541. 602-753-3541. If you got someone on the line that's ready to come in and you got a question about it, grab us. If we're available, we will take your call. All right. Cut me off for real this time.
My mic back on. All right, Michael, again, thanks again, Michael. I will see you very, very soon. And guys, thank Michael for coming out. We will see him next week. Thank you, sir. And we still got Christina and Rich hanging out, which I really appreciate. So listen, team, again, I do not like to take the approach, at least not anymore, where I'm trying to pump people up or, Mr. I'm ready to say Tony Robbins. Yeah, Anthony Robbins. He doesn't really believe in motivation either, really. He believes in strategies. And guys, you know what you need to do. So all of you that already have your tickets, you're coming to the event, congratulations, great. I will see you there. Right now, I'm going to talk to the folks that are kind of on the fence. and I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse, but you need to be there, guys. Listen, I'll even be very fair with you. Those of you that are watching recording, whatever, for some reason you're not going to the event, or you don't think you can make it, or you don't know how you would get there, so you're just ruling it out. Number one, you shouldn't be doing that. I want to just speak to the folks that have that little voice. You know what it is, guys? Is that little voice saying, I really need to be there, and if I don't go, I know I'm going to regret it. I'm talking to you folks. Listen, if you don't have that little voice and you're just saying to yourself, I'm definitely not going, fine. I don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do. But if you have that little voice, I'm not forcing you, okay? Because that voice is called your subconscious, which is really what's in control. So, guys, next week, we're going to do an event. Going to have Michael Hamburger back. I'll give you guys details on it more, how we can really promote together. And all you need to really do, guys, is just focus on, getting people to whatever platform I decide to use. It might be this, but I just need to figure out some technical things, exactly how we're going to do this. Again, what did I just say, guys? I'm not even quite sure how I'm going to do it yet. That's not important. I'll figure it out, okay? I don't need to know right now. I'll figure it out. But it will be next week, Tuesday, I believe 8 o'clock. It'll take place, the place of our weekly hangout. And all you got to focus on is getting people to the link, all right, that we give you. And then, let us do the marketing and selling and promoting for you. And remember, guys, also, you guys know this already, but I want to remind you, those tech sales, they are residual. Follows the M3 strategy. They are residual, so don't forget that. Let me see if there's any questions real quick, guys, before we call it a night. I really appreciate you guys. Pascal, yes, I remember you mentioned it to me last week, Pascal, brother. Listen, this week, maybe, what's today, Tuesday? Sometime this week, I'll hit you up. I've been wanting to talk to you anyway and get your expertise. See, guys, this is how it works. I don't have to know it all, okay? I don't have to do it all. We have plenty of resources out here. You can call it the universe, whatever you want. A smart entrepreneur, they understand that they know where to go to get what they need. They understand that the resources are out there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. But before I let you go, some of you got here late. So I want to read to you again, okay, something. And I'll probably send you guys an email because I'm going to be offering a bonus, a team bonus, to those of you. And again, guys, maybe I see some things that you guys can't see right now. I'm kind of on the other side. I want to get you guys on the other side. So you can be saying to yourself, yeah, Miles, now I see, Miles, while you were pushing. Again, there's a few of you that are on the fence about going all in. We'll just call it going all in for now, for lack of better words. And I want to kind of nudge you guys and inspire you to go all in. Those of you that are already all in, we'll take care of you in Vegas. But those of you that are on the fence about going all in, I'm going to be sending out an email to the team, or I'll make a video or something. I'm going to share with you a bonus that my wife and I want to give you. So anyway, so I'm going to end the hangout tonight. And I had 3 guests on this hangout, and I'm doing really good with the time. And we're going to keep it that way. And I also want to, I know they're still listening. Rich and Christina, I really want to thank you guys for coming out and sharing your story. I see nothing but good things for you guys. In fact, I see you guys just popped on. I just want to tell you guys directly, again, this business, guys, I'm talking to you two guys right now. This business, it gets so jaded, and a lot of people are like, yeah, I've heard that before, and they're just interested in making money. And guys, I really I want a lot of things. Okay. And maybe what I want is not exactly what you want. You know, I don't know how many of you follow Abraham Hicks, but I do. And I understand that things can't always be the way I want. I have children. I want certain things for my children, but maybe they don't want the things I want. And who's to say I'm right? Who's right? Who's wrong? There really is no right or wrong, according to Abraham Hicks. But what I wanted to tell you guys is I wanted to get to a point in my business where the focus wasn't all money. Guys, money is important, especially when you're starting. I know that's guys, it's all about money. Because if it wasn't all about money, all of you would be all in, right? You believe in the vision, you believe in Techademics, you believe in our movement. If it wasn't all about money, you guys would all be all in. You know, so money is a big deal, at least for a time period. I want all of you to get to the point in your business where money is not the central focus, where what you want to do, you can really do it and not just think about it. Here's what I'm talking about. I think, I could be wrong, I think that all of you really want to help other people succeed. I mean, me, myself, I think that's the best job in the world. Listen, if you're providing a valuable service, you're going to get rewarded. You're going to get paid. That's just how it is. Okay? This is a business, economy, makes the world go round. But having a job where, I hate to use the word job, makes me queasy. Having an opportunity where you can share with other people and teach them how to better their lives and increasing their income is one way to do it. Another way is showing them how to increase their health, how to increase their relationships, how to improve their mindset, all of these things. And I believe all of these things are going to be part of the 4% group. I know they are. But to have a business where you're not focused on money, you're just helping other people get to where they want to get. Find out what their goals are, what their dreams are. And because you have the knowledge, you're just helping them get there. That's all. You're not focused on the next elite sale or tech sale. You're just helping them because you know that the information and the value you're providing them, you know it's good for them. I think that's the best, quote, job in the world. And personally, I want to see all of you doing that. I want to see you in that position where you're focusing on that. And then the money you're making, whatever, that's just a byproduct. The satisfaction is really helping somebody, break through. And now they're no longer struggling to pay their mortgage or their medical bills. That's what it's really all about to me. And I hope that's what it's about to you guys. So again, I just want to thank you two, Richard and Christina, because you guys are doing good. Okay, you're doing well. And I'm just happy that I had a small part in your success. So, a lot of mentors, sponsors, or gurus, whatever you want to call us, I think they get it backwards. And people are thinking, oh, thank you for helping me, blah, blah. No. They have it backwards. I want to thank you guys, you folks, you two, and the entire team for giving me the opportunity, because I believe this is what God put me on this earth to do, not to make a lot of money, but to help people. Even if it's showing somebody how to improve their salsa step, like I did my wife when I met her. She's a great dancer now. What a feeling of satisfaction to see somebody excel and do better than they were. Folks, that's what Techademics is all about. That's what the 4% is all about. So guys, I don't know if you've been kind of kicking back a little bit because, Techademics is doing a lot of things in the background. You need to get fired up and you need to understand what you're sitting on right now, the opportunity that's here. So Richard, Christina, any last words before we call it a night?
Rich and I were talking, and we really didn't talk about the struggle. Going all in. So he said, we didn't talk about that like it was easy. And, guys, it wasn't easy. I actually came to Rich and said, gosh, Rich, we really need to find $12,000 so we can go in. And, we kind of brainstormed and, we ended up going to the bank and borrowing the money. And that was literally the best decision of my entire life. It's going to change our future. It's going to change our family's future. And I am just so happy that we made the commitment and we did it. Guys, nothing's easy, but that decision just to do it, to believe in something, it's just, I can't explain it. I mean, it's the most wonderful thing.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to have you guys back. So, so get used to. You're already getting used to being on camera, but get used to being in this platform. So, I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Listen, team. Again, I wanted to share this last thing with you before we go because I shared it with the team when we opened up, but a lot of you came in late, which is okay. And I saw a comment here that I wanted to. It reminded me of something and it just slipped my mind. That's okay. I'm not going to try to remember it right now. But team, I want to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite books, guys. That's why books are so important. Listen, guys. So let me just quote this, paraphrase this, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying I'm not actually saying it. I'm reading it from the book. The world doesn't need more people playing small. Oh, yeah, now let's see. Just reminded me. Okay, before I read this, guys, I just got to say this one thing. All of you here, I believe, are 4%ers. I believe that. Okay, so Vic has this massive, monumentous vision, which is why I love the guy. Seriously. Man love, And you've heard Vic describe over and over again what it is to be a 4%er. Guys, to me, being a 4%er, it's just cool. Because it's true. There's a small segment of the population who's willing to do what the majority won't do. And that little small segment, if we want to talk about money for a minute, they're earning all the money. You guys know that, okay? Christina, she's in real estate. I was in real estate. I remember, when I was an agent, the first thing I learned was that 96% of the agents are broke. They're not making money. It's like the 4% get all the listings. It's true. And you know what, guys? This was way before internet marketing. Those same numbers were quoted to me. I remember my broker said 4% of the agents are getting the listings. And the way they're getting them, they won't share it with the other agents. So it's really true, guys. And if you really want to consider yourself a 4%er, you need to do things emotionally, physically, and financially that most people won't do. Listen, unless your best friend in the world is having a wedding or something, in November during the Techademics event, or God forbid somebody's sick in your family. Other than that, and you're not going to the event, some of you may not like when I say this, but other than that, if you're not going to the event in Las Vegas, it's because you're not a 4%er. Seriously. And guys, it's okay. I'm not knocking the rest of society. They're good people. My parents, who are both in heaven right now, they weren't 4%ers. Blue collar people. Love my parents to death. But they weren't 4%ers, My two brothers are not 4%ers, So again, don't make pretend, guys. Seriously, don't make pretend. Don't kid yourself. Either you're a 4%er or you're not. If you're not, you're still a good person. But again, the 4%, being a 4% or 2%, 3%, I think it's 1%. Takes a special type of person. Takes a leader, guys. Takes a leader of self. And that's what I'm gonna merge right into this paragraph that I'm gonna read to you guys. Guys, it's just 3 sentences before I let you guys go. Some of you might be going already. The world doesn't need more people playing small. It's time to stop hiding out and stepping out. It's time to stop needing and start leading. I don't know about you folks, but I want to lead. And in order to do that, I had to start with myself. And I work on myself every day. Got to get my butt back in the gym. Been missing. But when I say lead, guys, it's not about who's still here. It's not about even having a team. That doesn't make you a leader because you have a team. It's about being a leader of self, setting the example for your peers, co-workers, your children, whoever. Leader of self, that's number one. Set the example, and the rest will follow. At least those people who resonate with what you're doing, they will follow you. And I'll tell you something, guys, even though it's like 2%, there's millions of people, millions, guys. So there's no scarcity here. There's millions that want to be in that 2%, and they're willing to do whatever. You know, last thing before I go, guys, I was looking for that video. I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. Vic's wife, and I'm going to butcher her name, Natalia. She posted a video earlier today that she's going to share with her kids. You know, Vic's has 6 kids, right? And the video, it was like a split screen. All right, it was like a split screen. And on the one side, it showed a little girl getting up for school here in America. And she's, you know, brushing her teeth, putting her little outfit on for school, you know, and she's eating breakfast. And she goes out the door, and the bus is like right there, hops on the bus. She's all happy, going to school. Then on the other side of the split screen, there's a little boy. He looks Mexican. So I'm not sure where he was. I think it might have been Mexico. A little Hispanic child. And so it was a split screen, and they were both doing the same thing. So on this side, he was brushing his teeth, you know, he had his breakfast, and I'm not sure what it was he was eating, but it wasn't cereal, it wasn't Captain Crunch, some type of, looked like, I'm not sure what it was. So he got ready for school, and you know, so then his mother gave him a kiss, you know, he walked out. There was no bus there. No bus. He started walking. It reminded me of my mother, because my mother, I remember as a little boy, she told me how she used to walk to school with no shoes. It reminded me of my wife. And my wife is Puerto Rican. Did you know that? Incredible woman. And she told me how she would, you know, because my wife is from Calle, Puerto Rico, and she would walk, you know, through the mountains, like, or down the hill, this hill that I remember I tried to drive up to, you know, to get to school. But anyway, back to the story with the 2 children. So the little boy, there's no bus, so he's walking. And he's like walking through the mountains. He's crossing this, I'm afraid of heights. He's crossing this bridge. This, you know, the little bridge is like it's falling apart. He's crossing that to get to school. Now, eventually, guys, he did get to school, and he got to class. It was like a little, the school was like a little rundown shack. You know, I think they barely had any books in there, but he's so happy just to be at the school. Only thing is, he walked to school. Nothing wrong with walking to school. I used to walk to school. But the only difference is, he walked to school, then he had to walk back home through the mountains by himself. I think he was probably like 7 years old. You know how long it took him? I didn't tell you this part. You know how long it took him to get to school? And so some people are like saying, "Oh, I don't know if I can go all in. It's too much. I got this bill, and I'm worried about this. And what if I can't pay it?" You know how long it took him to get to school one way? One way. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Then he had to turn around and walk back home by himself. And I'm sure it was dark by the time he got home. So when I think about that, and sometimes I'll work all night, my wife knows that. And then there's times that I still force myself to get up early. And some days I don't feel getting up early because I'm like, well, I worked all night. When I think of that, I'm like, well, there's no reason for me in bed. I got stuff to do, okay? And there's no reason for me to not take advantage of this opportunity to get to it's my company. It's my company. Techademics, guys, is my company. It's your company. There's no reason why I can't get to my company event if I really, really want to. Yeah, maybe again, talking as an affiliate, who knows? Maybe I don't have the money, but you know what? There's a lot of people out there that don't have the money, but if they want to do something, listen, guys, you're all adults here. I don't need to preach to you. People that go to events, people that do incredible things, most of them don't have the money. Okay, that's how. See, a lot of people think that, okay, the only people that do those things are people that have the money. No. Most of the people, I've seen the majority, seriously, I was one of them. We do things in spite of not having the money. Although we make the decision and then our subconscious mind starts working, things just start happening and we find a way. Even if it's not our money, it's somebody else's money, it's the bank's money. But now we're on the hook. We're on the hook to pay back the bank or to pay back the relative or to pay back the wife. But listen, guys, when you're on the hook like that, because we're all human beings, you are more motivated, really motivated, to do what you need to do. Those of you that have borrowed to go all in, you know who you are. I applaud you. Let's work together and get that loan paid off and get you in the black. And not just get you in the black, but get you over. So now you can start leading. You can show people what's possible. That's it, team. I'm done. That's all I have to say tonight. I'm just glad you guys are here. Just glad you guys are here. All right, folks, listen, have a great night. I will give you more details on next week, how we're going to do this thing, but it's going to be cool because, yeah, I like the idea of promoting the tech product and at the same time promoting the event. Because, again, guys, listen, I haven't really started yet. I'm going to be doing Facebook campaign. I can tell you right now, okay, for the Las Vegas area. I'm going to be targeting certain zip codes in Las Vegas because to me that just makes sense. And I'm going to start doing that because I want to get as many butts in the seats as I can because I know these people, if I can get them to the event, I don't got to worry about doing the selling. I can just sit back, you know, I can learn during the day and just party in Vegas. I don't got to worry about doing the selling and telling. They'll do that from stage. And what Vic also has up his sleeve, you know, of course, Vic will be there. I know we'll convert these people. So that's my plan. We'll talk more about that, guys. All right, folks, have a good night. Again, I'll see you guys next week. And as I always say, oh, by the way, guys, that quote I took, that was from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eckert, for those of you that came on late. As I always say, guys, I will see you where, team? I'll see you next week, but I'll see you where, team? I'll see you at the very top. Have a great night, guys. I appreciate you folks. Looking forward to seeing all of you in Las Vegas. Have a great night, guys.